5:05.
Live. That's happened a few times.
Yeah.
Things happen. All right, now we're live. So there's the camera straight ahead. And if you ever
Okay.
want to look at people straight in the eyes and figure out their souls and what they have going on.
They're right there.
Yeah.
Looking at me.
Looking at you. So, but as everyone knows, I'm Jack here at Island Music Company. This is Live at 5. I'm here with Brendan from Martin.
Good evening.
And we're doing our Martin experience here in the shop today. So we thought it'd be cool to, when doing the live stream, to also have Brendan join us as part of the live stream today. So what are we looking at? What do we got?
What are we looking at? We are looking at a wall of wood. No. We are. We got a couple really cool guitars. One we wanted to talk about is the new SC13. I call it new, but it's been around for a couple of years, but it's still doing really well. And
Very
there's
cool.
a lot of interest in this guitar. Brand new shape. Hopefully you can see that from back there. And the X brace that's usually on the top is on the inside. The neck is really slim, lighter strings, lighter action, and total accessibility to the top of the guitar without even really feeling the neck. You can get your fingers all the way up there.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Also, this is kind of a not an afterthought, but something that came out of the design was that we found that these guitars are really you can get them a little bit louder, so the noise to feedback ratio is really good. You can get them pretty loud on stage. So if you're playing in a whatever group, at a worship band with a drummer, and you need to get that volume
You just
up,
need some more. You need some more gas.
you got some juice there that you can work with. So this is very new for us, but let's go back to tradition. This is some would say 0018. Sorry. Pickguard tells us a little bit differently. And if we put this next to a dreadnought, we would see that the scale length, so the distance from nut to saddle, is the same as a dreadnought, right? So this is actually an OM18, but it's also a custom. So it's a little confusing, but the point is that we don't have a stock OM18. So that's what makes this one custom. Just the scale length.
And price point wise, coming from the custom built Martin.
Yeah.
Because really it's just this factory guitar, but in a special shape.
Right.
It's really not that big of a difference in price.
Not that big of a difference.
Just a few hundred.
But it does a few $100.
This is so it's custom, but it'd be classified as the OM18. Would be the
correct. So Jack, I know you know the difference between OM and 0018, but I was just thinking somebody who's watching, if anybody's watching, I don't know. If somebody who's watching might think, well, what does that mean? What does that do for me? The difference between the two, when you take the scale length and make it a little bit longer, is, again, it's similar to a dreadnought, or it's exactly the same as a dreadnought scale length. So it's going to feel different, right? That feels different to you than a 0018. It's a little, I hate to use the word stiff because it's not a stiff guitar, but a 000 is a little slinkier. So you can bend it more easily.
Yeah. Right? No, I've always been a fan of the OM because for me it's like you almost want to say hybrid because I love dreadnoughts and I love things like the 000.
Right.
But they're two very different types of guitars.
Very different.
And so sometimes you want that in the middle that's going to give you that that grace to let you kind of find where you want to go.
Yep.
And the OM definitely gives you those opportunities.
OM will give you that. Again, this is a custom shop guitar. So if you're interested in this one, if you look in there or you purchase this one, it's going to say Martin Custom Shop in it, which is very cool. And as Jack mentioned, just a little bit more than a regular 18.
Yeah, for just a little bit more, it's the custom shop, but then you also get that nice custom shop case that comes with it too.
Yeah.
So it's
a little bit of a different case.
It's nice. So you get all those added bonuses and features of the custom shop with not paying that much more than if you were just picking up a 0018.
Right. And the custom shop passport. So a little
the
case
little
candy
passport.
in there too.
Yeah. Very cool.
Fun guitar.
Yeah.
And then sticking with tradition a little bit, at least in size, we have a dreadnought guitar here. This is in the X series. And the X Series, there's two different ways to go as far as the materials, right? So this one is an all HPL guitar. It has an image on it of a really nice piece of flame mahogany. So it looks like mahogany, but the material is something a little bit different. X Series guitars also come with solid wood tops. So you have some options, some flexibility there. I've been in the acoustic room all day. Island Music has at least a half dozen of them in stock. So there's some really cool X Series guitars. And why would you want to go here? Well, these are a little bit more affordable. So we're talking just over three grand for OM18. Fabulous guitar, but you get a lot of bang for your buck in the X Series as well. And really, really fun guitars for somebody who's beginning, or maybe they're gigging a lot and you're afraid of taking that out to the local.
Yeah, you don't want to take the high end stuff out. You want something that you're not afraid is gonna, hit a table or fall off a stand or something.
And you got a pickup built in here too. So
yes.
Plug it in. It sounds virtually the same as any other Dreadnought once you plug that thing in. So fun 3 guitars to very different each of them. But,
all unique, and when it comes to size, playability, tonal qualities, but all still excellent pieces from Martin.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, so Brendan's been here since 1 o'clock-ish, 12:30, somewhere in there. Yeah. And today was our Martin experience. So we probably do these twice a year. I feel like every other.
I think we did 2 this year.
So in case you're curious what that is, we've talked about it in previous live streams and here in the shop. And but the Martin experience is a cool way for anyone who's interested in guitars, whether it's acoustic guitars, whether you've been playing for a long time and this is something you're never going to stop doing, or something you really just want to get into. We like doing these events with Martin because you can look across the board, and no matter where you're at playability wise, like I said, whether you're the long season veteran, whether you're the road warrior, or someone who's just picking things up at home in the bedroom, there's something from Martin to cover you no matter where you're at and what you're into. And I think what's really cool also about Martin is, say if I had the custom shop, or I had the SC13, but I just want something different, I can pick up an X Series guitar and it's still going to feel like a Martin. It's still going to feel nice. It's still going to be a nice playable instrument. And that's across the board, because you guys now also have the basses, like the junior size basses, the junior size acoustics, and just everything. The Authentic series, those are phenomenal. So there's just, there's kind of no miss when it comes to Martin. It's
trying to hit all those categories.
Yeah, you hit it for everyone, and just like everyone that has a really nice big high-end acoustic also probably really wants the small carry around travel option. That's something you guys offer as well. And also something I feel like no one really talks about too much is you guys also have phenomenal ukuleles.
Thank you.
I feel like we have the uke jam here the first Saturday of every month.
Okay.
And people are always busting all kinds of ukuleles. I like to show them the Martin, and they're like, "There's no way!" Like they just don't expect it.
Right.
And it's a great little thing.
And they've been around for a long time. We started making ukuleles in the 1920s.
Yeah. I mean, I have the book at home about the contour ukulele. And it's a phenomenal thing. But yeah, so like I said, literally something for
everybody.
Well, not the drummers, but
we used to own Five's drums, so there's still some of that out there too.
Cool. Yeah. And you guys have the Kovar strings that are out now.
The new Kovar strings, yeah. Buy one, get one free right now because of this event. And there's also a buyback guarantee. So if somebody tries the Kovar strings for the first time and they're like, I think you're going to like them. Honestly, I haven't been excited about a string in a long time.
Cool.
These are pretty exciting. But if you decide that you don't like them, you just take your receipt from Island Music and you send them back to Martin, and we'll reimburse you for them. Not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal at all.
And you don't have to get 2 sets of Kovar strings. You could get a set of Kovar and maybe you're an MA 540T person, so you could get one of each. Then way you try them, and you could always back up with your treated strings or whatever string you like.
Fall back to what you know, and very cool. But yeah, the Kovar strings they're really nice. Like I said, I told you before, I put them on that Yamaha I have from the 70s, and it just brought that thing to a whole new life, volume, sustain, projection, everything. It felt
Yeah.
like I was playing a whole new guitar, and it sounded phenomenal.
And you hit on a really good point. There's sometimes a misconception that a Martin string is only for a Martin.
right.
We obviously make them in
Yeah.
our factory. We test them on our guitars, but there's no limit to what guitar they can go on. Right? They're good strings for any
of
any
course.
instrument.
Yeah, I think that's worth noting is because most people that come in like, oh, I have a Martin. Give me 2 MA540Ts, and that's
Mhm.
just like it's like that's all the But you get guys that come in and they're like, oh, I've got this guitar from these guys and this guitar from those guys, and you're like, I just don't like the feeling of coated strings. Like, oh, well, here's Martin treated strings, and there's always a little bit of there's a Martin strings. Like, yeah, you can put them on anything. They're great. Put them on
Any
whatever
guitar,
you got.
any guitar. We even have electric strings. So.
Yeah, yeah. The electric strings, the ukulele strings. Is it the classical strings?
Yeah, we have classical strings, banjo,
Banjo,
ukulele
mandolin.
you mentioned, and mandolin.
Yeah.
There's even a retro mandolin string.
Oh,
You know?
okay. Same material, the
Mhm.
Monel type stuff.
Correct.
Very cool. All right, sweet. Anything coming up that we can disclose or talk about, or
Disclose and talk about. we got to turn off the microphones, but there are some new things
Look
coming out at
away.
NAMM. NAMM is happening again this year in January, so
okay.
keep your eye on what Island Music has and what they
I know
have
that
coming.
there's something pretty cool on the Martin website right now.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have an offer on the website for people to apply for a chance at winning a new guitar.
Oh, right.
That has not been announced yet.
I was just going to say the name.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
You can apply to win this guitar, but we can't tell you what it is. But it's
But
really cool.
It's a
Really
good
cool.
guitar.
Yeah.
It's coming from Martin.
I will say something. Right, we'll just give a little teaser. This was really new and different for us. The gotta keep from saying it. The guitar that you could win is really unique and different. It looks like this, but there's something going on somewhere that's
It's
very interesting.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for him. But yeah, cool. I didn't mean to almost cause you to lose your
No,
job
no,
there.
no.
That'd be,
It's fine.
that would have been interesting. I don't know
It's my boss calling right now. I think
Oh,
he's
man.
watching.
Jeez. Sorry. You guys. No, so yeah, yes, NAMM coming up. As always, there's always going to be new kind of like additions and revisions to things,
Mhm.
and we just got a few guitars in stock today as well. So we got the GPC 16. I think we also got a GPC 13 in today as well.
You did.
So
You did. Both of those are great guitars.
Yeah.
GPC 16 Rosewood, one of our best-selling instruments. Just does really well.
oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I think what's really cool is these like non-traditional Martin guitar shapes that come out.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone at first just kind of like rolls the eyes or
Yeah.
scoffs, but then once you actually start playing them and looking at them, they take on it's a whole new element, so to speak.
It's a
that
real
is-
Martin.
Yeah.
You know. Now, if it was, we tried years ago. We did D28s with cutaways and electronics, and people were like, "Whoa!" But you can do it with, well, obviously SC. You can do anything with, but the GPC body. So it's a grand performance body. Cutaway on that just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It works.
Very good. Cool. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Thank you.
Normally, I have a few other things to talk about. We figured today, being the Martin experience, we would just exclusively throw Martin on the book and
Mhm.
discuss some of the stuff you brought with you and that we have here in the shop. And I believe some of the models you brought with you today are going to stay here.
Some of them are going to stay.
We'll be posting those in upcoming days for everyone to be aware and know what's going on. But yeah, so those Martin experience. We're here for about another 45 minutes or so at the shop.
Come
So
by.
if you saw something on here that you're just like, man, I gotta have that, or I could go for some strings. We're here till 6. But yeah, it's always a good time. I'm trying to think if we have anything else. No, this is our last event of the year. Normally I plug
Really?
a bunch of stuff afterwards, but this is
Nothing
the
to
last
plug?
event of the year. Obviously we're closed on Christmas and New Year's Day. No events to plug, but I will say, since we're also closed on Christmas Eve because that's a Sunday, make sure if you have any layaways or last minute gifts or anything like that, December 23rd is your last day that you'll be able to pick that up. So just putting that out there, because
good to know.
there's always like January 2nd or 3rd, we get those phone calls. I put a guitar on layaway for someone for Christmas, and I totally forgot about it. And you're like, oh, well, it's still here. So just don't forget about it. It's it'd be a sad Christmas,
It'd be sad.
Johnny got rollerblades, someone got a pool table, and then someone didn't get a guitar. I don't know.
I don't want to be in that household if that happens.
No.
So get here on the 23rd.
Yeah, make sure you
it
pick
up.
your stuff up. Because if not, I'm going to give it to Jake, and that's his new Christmas present. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. This was Live at 5 at Island Music. Thanks, Brendan, for hanging out.
Thank you.
And we'll see you around at the next one.